Especially, I really like the concept you're working with here. I think it, in many ways, is very advanced. You're taking something that's really ugly and making it beautiful. And maybe even ironically, the stuff that is originally ugly was intended to be beautiful in the first place. So there's kind of this back and forth, sort of this refinement and then decay and then refinement again, that is sort of being intertwined between your image itself and the subject matter that you include. So I like that a lot. I think that's great. But I do have to say right out of the gate, one of the things that is really important in this class is being able to size and resize photographs and submit them according to instructions. And for this submission, you can see that your image is very small. The reason it's very small is you submitted it as a very small image, and if we go into Photoshop, we can see that it's only a width of 4 inches, and we were actually supposed to submit at a resolution of 300 pixels per inch. So if we go to 300 pixels per inch, you can see that the image that was supposed to be 7 inches wide, you actually submitted as 1 inch wide. So it's really important that you follow these instructions. If this was a newspaper or a magazine, or you had some sort of assignment for a client, you would be required to submit these in the format that they outlined for you. So I hate to beat on you for this, but we are at the end of the semester, and I think it's really important at this point that you demonstrate an ability to use Photoshop to resize your images. Again, that is just really a fundamental skill in this class. So that being said, let's take a look at some of your images. I think this is a fantastic way to start out. I think that the images that you use in this series have a wonderful beauty that very much is linked to the orientation and the composition of your frames. These beautiful diagonal lines take this very hard graphic graffiti that's going on here and sort of leads us into this beautiful sunset in the distance. So it's kind of like you're connecting the ugly to the aesthetically pleasing, and I think it works really well for this photograph, and I think that's a pattern that you very much use in almost all of your images. You take sort of decay and ugly and broken down and discover some sort of beauty in it, and do a really good job through the use of your composition to lead us to those beautiful things within those images. So the first two images I think are really good ways to start out your portfolio. I think this image also, we just see this whole idea of urban decay that surrounds us so much in this area. I think that you've just done a really wonderful job of searching this out and sharing it with the viewer. As we move a little deeper into your portfolio, I think that beautiful organization of your frame kind of gets broken up a little bit by some busyness here. I don't think that the eye moves through this frame as easily as it did with the previous images, and so that idea that we're making something very aesthetically pleasing out of something that's pretty ugly starts to get off path a little bit here, because the organization is a little bit loose, it's a little bit cluttered, it's a little bit busy, and so I don't think it really succeeds in being an aesthetically pleasing photograph. So when we're taking everything into consideration, we really have to look at that as we're moving forward. We'll take the rest on in part 2.